We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. What if I told you that the reason some men effortlessly attract women isn't about looks, money, or luck, but a set of subtle psychological triggers they activate without even realizing it? Imagine tapping into hidden patterns of attraction that make women chase you naturally, while you remain calm, confident, and completely in control. In this video, you're about to discover 5 powerful psychological triggers that can flip the dating game in your favor. These aren't tricks or manipulations. They are timeless principles rooted in human nature and Stoic wisdom, designed to build genuine attraction without chasing or desperation. Stick around until the very end, because mastering these triggers will not only boost your confidence but transform how women see and respond to you. If you're tired of the guessing games and want to understand the invisible forces that make women pursue you, this video is your roadmap. Get ready to unlock secrets that will make you magnetic, irresistible, and ultimately in control of your romantic destiny. Let's dive in. Number 1, scarcity effect. Let's dive into something that's deceptively simple but incredibly powerful: the scarcity effect. You might have heard the phrase before, maybe even in passing, but here's the real deal. Scarcity isn't just about having less of something. It's about the way human psychology makes us crave what feels rare or hard to get. When it comes to attraction, this principle works like a silent magnet, pulling women toward you without them even realizing why. The moment you start embodying scarcity, you flip the script. Instead of chasing, you become the one being chased. Now imagine this. You're not constantly available, not always responding instantly, not hanging around in every conversation or social circle. You create a little space around yourself, a little mystery, a little exclusivity. And just like that, you've triggered something deep inside her mind. Scarcity taps into an ancient survival instinct. Our brains are wired to value what's rare because it feels more precious. So when you're not always there, you become a prize, a limited resource that naturally sparks interest and desire. But here, where it gets interesting, scarcity isn't about playing games or pretending to be aloof just for the sake of it. That's surface level, and women can see right through that. Scarcity is about cultivating your own worth and priorities so genuinely that you simply don't have time to be everywhere all the time. This means you're focused on your goals, your passions, your growth, and you're not bending over backward to be in every moment of her day. That's what makes scarcity authentic, magnetic, and irresistible. Take a moment to reflect on this. Once said, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." So think about your time and energy as precious resources. When you treat them that way, you naturally become scarce. And scarcity breeds value. People want what they can't easily have. It's a psychological fact, not a trick. When you respect your own time and space, you're teaching her to respect it too. That's powerful. That's an attraction. Now here's a practical habit for you to adopt starting today. Practice being less available. Not cold, not distant, but intentional. If she texts you, don't rush to reply immediately every single time. Take a moment to breathe, engage in your own activities, and respond when it feels right. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about living your life fully and letting her see that you have a world beyond just her. That world makes you more interesting, more worth chasing. Another exercise: set boundaries for your social time. Maybe you decide to spend certain evenings focusing on your hobbies, friends, or personal development without distractions. This helps you build scarcity naturally because you're genuinely busy with meaningful pursuits. And as you get better at this, watch how your interactions change. The energy shifts. You become someone who's not desperate for attention but who commands it effortlessly. Remember the Stoics again. Epictetus taught, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." When you want less of others' attention and instead cultivate your own richness, you become rare in the truest sense. Your scarcity isn't a gimmick, it's a reflection of your internal strength and independence. And that strength, it's magnetic. So embrace scarcity as a mindset, not a game. Prioritize yourself, honor your time, and cultivate a life that's fulfilling and full on your terms. When you do, you don't just attract women, you attract the right kind of attention, the kind that's genuine and lasting. Scarcity isn't about withholding, it's about elevating yourself. And that's how you become irresistible without even trying. Number 2, social proof. Let's dive into something that might seem a little tricky at first, but is incredibly powerful once you grasp it: social proof. Now, you might have heard the term tossed around like some kind of flashy marketing buzzword, but it's really much deeper than that. Social proof is the subtle, often invisible signal that tells others you're worth noticing. It's that magnetic force pulling people toward you because, simply put, others are already drawn to you. It's human nature. We're wired to look where others are looking, to trust what others trust, and to be curious about what others find valuable. And this applies to attraction. Too, women pick up on social proof like radar, even if they don't realize it consciously. Picture this: when you carry yourself with a quiet confidence that's recognized by others, when your presence naturally attracts attention and respect in a group, you're broadcasting a powerful message without saying a word. It's like an unspoken endorsement. Women sense this energy, this momentum. It's one of the oldest psychological triggers there is. People follow the crowd because it signals safety, value, and desirability. The Stoics would remind us here, as said, the opinion of others does not define you, but it shapes how you move in the world. Use that insight to your advantage. You don't have to chase or perform for others. You simply need to cultivate a presence that draws positive attention effortlessly. Here, where you can take real action, start noticing how you interact in social settings. Are you engaged, calm, and genuinely interested in the people around you? Or do you shy away, second-guessing yourself? The way you carry yourself in these moments is crucial. Social proof isn't about being loud or flashy, it's about being authentic and present. When you show up fully and consistently, others notice, and that ripple effect builds. People gravitate to energy that feels strong yet grounded. That shows a man who's comfortable in his own skin. Try this exercise. Next time you're in a group or social setting, observe how others respond to you. Are they making eye contact? Are they listening closely? Are they leaning in? These little cues are the currency of social proof. They tell you whether you're projecting the kind of energy that naturally attracts. If you find yourself shrinking away or fading into the background, it's a signal to lean into your presence more. Take small steps, speak up with intention, share your thoughts calmly, hold your posture with quiet confidence. Over time, these small adjustments compound into a powerful magnetic force. Remember, social proof isn't about faking it or trying to impress. The Stoics would warn against putting your happiness in the hands of others, but that doesn't mean ignoring the power of influence. Instead, focus on becoming the best version of yourself: steady, reliable, interesting. When you do, you'll find that women begin to chase you not because you begged for their attention, but because you embody something genuinely attractive. Epictetus said it well: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So decide who you want to be in social settings and start acting like that person today. In the end, social proof is less about people around you and more about the energy you radiate. You don't need a crowd to be magnetic, but when you are that steady force in any group, you naturally pull others toward you. So step into your power, build that authentic presence, and watch how the world, and women in particular, start to notice you in ways that feel effortless and true. The chase will begin on its own, driven by a psychological trigger as old as human connection itself. Number 3, mystery and ambiguity. Here's the thing about mystery and ambiguity. They're like invisible magnets pulling people toward you, especially women, without them even realizing why. When you don't lay everything out on the table all at once, when you keep a little part of yourself wrapped in quiet intrigue, it creates a powerful psychological trigger. It sparks curiosity, excitement, and yes, desire. Think about it. If someone feels like they've figured you out completely, where's the fun in that? Where's the challenge, the spark? Mystery makes you unpredictable in the best way possible. It keeps her brain engaged, wondering what's next and craving more. You might be tempted to think that being open and vulnerable right away is the way to win her over, but that's not the full picture. There's an ancient wisdom here that resonates deeply with this idea. Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Part of enjoying the present with someone is leaving space for unknowns, not rushing to reveal every corner of your mind and heart. When you hold back a bit, when you let ambiguity linger, you're actually inviting her to lean in and invest mentally. That's where real attraction blossoms. Now I want you to notice your own tendencies. Do you spill everything about yourself the moment you meet someone? Or do you hold back some details, letting conversations unfold like a good story with chapters yet to be revealed? If you're the kind who rushes to explain, clarify, or overshare, it's time to flip that script. Instead of thinking, "I have to be fully transparent now," tell yourself, "I'm in control of my story and I reveal it at my own pace." That mindset alone will give you power, calmness, and yes, mystery. Here's a practical exercise you can try. The next time you're in a conversation with a woman, pause before answering a question that feels too direct or personal. Instead of giving a full answer, respond with a smile and a little tease, something that piques her interest without laying it all out. For example, if she asks about your weekend plans, instead of giving a detailed rundown, say something like, "I've got some things lined up, but I like to keep a few surprises." Watch how that tiny hint can light up her curiosity. It's subtle, it's effective, and it makes you memorable. Remember, mystery isn't about being cold or distant. It's about balance, sharing enough to connect but holding back enough to intrigue. It's the dance between revealing and concealing that keeps desire alive. And here, where your mindset really matters, reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Let this guide you not toward manipulation, but toward authenticity with boundaries. Being mysterious doesn't mean lying or hiding your true self. It means honoring your own pace and space, which naturally commands respect and interest. If you start practicing this, you'll notice something profound happening. Women will start chasing you not because you're desperate or overly available, but because you embody a magnetic calmness that invites pursuit. You become the man who's steady and sure, yet delightfully unpredictable. That mix is irresistible. So don't rush to fill every silence, don't feel pressured to explain every detail. Instead, cultivate an air of quiet confidence wrapped in a little mystery. Take this knowledge, apply it consistently, and watch how it shifts your interactions. Mystery isn't some trick or game, it's a reflection of self-mastery, patience, and presence. When you master this, you don't have to chase anyone. They'll be drawn to you naturally, eager to discover what lies beneath the surface. And that, my friend, is true power. Number 4, confidence and calmness. Listen closely, because this might be the simplest yet most powerful truth you hear today. Confidence and calmness are magnetic, and not just in a superficial way. When you carry yourself with quiet certainty and an unshakable calm, you trigger something deep inside women's minds, a psychological response that pulls them toward you before they even realize what's happening. This isn't about loud bravado or trying too hard to impress. No, it's about owning your inner world so fully that your outer world can't help but reflect that strength. You've probably heard the old saying that confidence is attractive, but let me challenge you to see it through a Stoic lens. Said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are calm, centered, and confident, your whole presence takes on that energy. And here's the secret. This isn't something you fake or force. It's something you cultivate from within through practice and self-awareness. When you do, women pick up on it like a radar. They sense stability in you, a man who doesn't get thrown off by chaos or uncertainty. That kind of energy is irresistible because it promises safety and leadership, two primal qualities that spark desire. Now, don't confuse calmness with being cold or indifferent. Calmness is power under control. It's the ability to stay grounded when things around you are hectic or emotionally charged. Think about it. How often do you see a man losing his cool and suddenly becoming less attractive? It happens all the time. Women don't want drama. They want a partner who can navigate life's storms with grace. When you respond calmly to challenges, you demonstrate emotional intelligence and strength. That's a psychological trigger right there. It signals maturity and reliability, which subconsciously tells her, this is a man worth chasing. Here's the thing you need to act on. Cultivate this calm confidence every single day. Start small. Practice taking slow, deep breaths when you feel tension rising. Ground yourself in the present moment by observing your surroundings without judgment. Remind yourself of Epictetus's wisdom. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This mindset shifts you from reactive to proactive, which is the essence of calm confidence. Try this exercise. Next time you feel nervous or uncertain, pause. Close your eyes briefly, breathe deeply, and silently say to yourself, I am steady. I am enough. Repeat it until you feel your heart rate slow and your thoughts settle. This simple habit rewires your brain, making calmness your default state rather than a rare escape. And as your inner world steadies, your outer world will naturally follow. Your posture will shift, your voice will steady, and your gaze will become more intentional. All signals women can't help but notice. Remember, this isn't about perfection or never feeling fear or doubt. Confidence and calmness grow through facing those emotions head-on without letting them control you. It's about being the captain of your ship, not a passenger tossed by waves. As Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Don't let imagined fears rob you of your power. Step into your reality with calm assurance and watch how it changes everything, especially how women respond to you. So here's your challenge. Make calm confidence a daily practice, not just a goal. Own your thoughts, master your reactions, and carry yourself like the man you want to become. When you do this, you don't just attract women, you become someone who naturally inspires desire and respect without saying a word. That's the true psychological trigger, and it's yours to claim. Number 5, reciprocity principle. There's a quiet power in giving, the kind of power that doesn't shout or demand attention, but quietly shifts the dynamic between you and a woman in the most profound way. This is what psychologists call the reciprocity principle. And trust me, it's one of those psychological triggers that make women chase you without even realizing it. It's simple but powerful. When you give something a moment of your time, a genuine compliment, a small act of kindness, you create a natural urge in her to give back. It's as if the universe itself nudges her to reciprocate, to match your energy, and in doing so, she becomes drawn closer to you. Now I want you to really think about this. How often do you find yourself reacting instinctively when someone does something nice for you? It's hard not to feel a pull, right? That's the reciprocity principle in action. But here, where the magic lies, it's not about transactional exchanges or keeping score. No, it's deeper. When you give freely without expectation or strings, you signal a strength that's magnetic. You show you're confident enough to share your energy, your time, and your kindness without fear of loss. And that, my friend, is irresistibly attractive. This isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding human nature and stepping into your power with grace. Said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. In this context, be the man who gives generously of his presence, attention, and respect. When you embody that, you don't just attract women, you inspire genuine connection. Here's a practical way to bring this to life. Start small. Notice the opportunities to give. Maybe it's a sincere compliment on something she's proud of, or a thoughtful gesture that shows you're paying attention. Watch how this simple act creates a ripple effect. She'll naturally want to match that energy, often without even realizing why. And every time she does, you're building a bond that feels effortless and real. But be mindful. The reciprocity principle only works when your giving is authentic. If you're giving because you want something in return, the energy shifts. You risk coming off as insincere or needy, the exact opposite of the calm confidence you want to project. So before you give, check in with yourself. Is this coming from a genuine place? Are you comfortable sharing this without expecting immediate payoff? If yes, then you're in alignment with the Stoic ideal of virtue, acting rightly for its own sake, not for reward. Try this exercise. The next time you're around a woman you want to attract, give without thinking twice. Maybe it's a small favor, a kind word, or even just your full attention. Then, step back and observe. Resist the urge to immediately seek validation or reciprocation. This practice builds your inner strength and patience, two qualities that make you magnetic in ways you can't force. Remember, attraction isn't a game of manipulation, it's a dance of energy. When you give freely and confidently, you set the rhythm and she naturally wants to follow. That's the power of reciprocity, quiet, profound, and transformative. So go ahead, start giving. Be that steady force of genuine kindness and watch how the dynamic shifts, how she begins to chase you without even realizing she's doing it. You're not just attracting someone, you're creating space for real connection, the kind that lasts. Now that you know these powerful psychological triggers, imagine the impact they can have, not just on your dating life, but on your confidence and presence. Remember, it's not about manipulation. It's about understanding human nature and letting your authentic self shine through. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights that elevate your game and mindset. Got a favorite trigger or a story about how one worked for you? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences. And hey, share this video with a friend who could use a little boost in their dating life. Until next time, keep mastering the art of attraction, stay authentic, and watch how the chase naturally unfolds. See you in the next one.